Alright, let me just say it straight up, Kevin Stefanski lied. He looked the media in the eye. He looked us fans in the eye. And he told us that this quarterback competition in Cleveland was going to be wide open, four-man race. Everybody's getting reps, everybody's getting a fair shot. And at the time, I wanted to believe him. I think most of us did want to believe him, but now I'm sitting here watching everything unfold. And I feel like I got played because from everything I've seen so far, it hasn't been a four-man competition at all. It's barely even been a three-man competition. The only guys getting meaningful reps with the first team working with the vets are Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel. That's it. My guy Shedeur Sanders, he hasn't touched the first team. Not once. Not a single rep. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. You mean to tell me this young man comes in, does everything right during the pre-draft process, works his tail off at minicamp, performs with consistency in OTA letters, and he still can't get one single opportunity with the starters? Come on now. How is that an open competition? So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. Like the video and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. And look, I know some people are going to try to spin it like, oh well, he's a rookie. He needs time. He's still learning the system, okay? Fine, but then don't tell us it's going to be a fair, open battle from the jump. Just be real about it. Say you've got a plan. Say you're easing him in. Say you're going to evaluate as things unfold. But don't go in front of the cameras and tell all of us that every quarterback is going to get their shot and then proceed to not give one of them a shot. That's disrespectful to Shedeur, and it's disrespectful to the fans who actually care about this team, because here's the thing people are noticing. This ain't going unnoticed. The fans see it. The reporters are talking about it. The commentators around the facility are whispering about it, and more than that, it just feels wrong. You can feel it in the energy of the fan base. Like, why is this dude getting buried on the depth chart when all he's done is show promise? And I keep going back to one question: why do people keep lying to us about Shedeur Sanders? It's like every step of the way, people try to downplay this guy, or deflect attention from him, or act like he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation. But why? Why are we pretending he doesn't deserve to compete? Why does Stefanski tell us it's a four-man competition, and then proceed to give only 3 of those guys actual chances? And look, I know this might sound like I'm just venting, but it's deeper than that. I'm watching this situation, and I see Dillon Gabriel getting all these reps. Right, he's the rookie they actually did draft. He was taken earlier. And I get it, when you use a high pick on a guy, you want to give him every opportunity to prove himself. But that doesn't mean you just ignore everyone else. That doesn't mean you take Shedeur, who, in my opinion, is just as talented, if not more, and shove him to the background. Because here's the kicker. Dillon hasn't exactly been lighting it up. There are people inside the building who've been talking about him struggling with the first team. I'm talking about batted passes, missed throws, inconsistency, and if you're seeing all that, why not say, you know what, let's give Shedeur a look. Let's see what the kid can do with the same opportunity. What's the harm in that? I'll tell you what the harm is. They don't want to look like they made a mistake. That's what this really comes down to. They picked Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, and now they feel like they have to make it work. They don't want to admit that maybe, just maybe, they overlooked someone better who was sitting right there the whole time. And I get it, nobody wants to admit they might have been wrong, but that's the kind of thinking that holds teams back. That's the kind of ego-driven stuff that prevents real competition from happening. And what's wild is that Shedeur's been balling in the reps he's actually gotten. Sure, he's working with the 2s, the 3s, sometimes even the 4s, but every time he's out there, he's the most consistent passer on the field. He's making all the throws. He's turning heads. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's not out there trying to be flashy or draw attention to himself. He's just showing up and delivering, and still, no first-team reps. That's the part I can't get past. Because if you're seeing someone produce at a high level, even if it's in limited snaps, you owe it to yourself as a coaching staff to see what he can do at the next level. And they haven't even given him that shot yet. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I would have had way more respect if Stefanski just came out and said, look, we have a plan. We're going to ease guys in. We'll adjust as we go. That's honest. That's straight up. But instead, he went out there and gave us this whole speech about a 4-man open competition. And now I'm watching, and it's obvious that wasn't true. So yeah, I feel like he lied. And you know what? I'm not alone in that. People are speaking up, and training camp's coming. So if Shedeur doesn't get some real looks with the first team, then, man, this whole thing's going to blow up even more. Fans are paying attention. We're watching. At the end of the day, it just comes down to this. Don't talk about fairness. Don't talk about opportunity if you're not going to back it up with action. Don't make empty promises. Just be real with us. So let me ask, y'all, how are you feeling about all this? Do you think Stefanski lied? Do you think Shedeur's going to finally get his shot with the starters come training camp? Or do you think this whole thing was just about protecting their investment in Dillon Gabriel? Maybe trying to justify that third-round pick? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear where you stand on it, because to me, this isn't just about Shedeur. This is about trust, this is about accountability, and this is about doing right by your players and your fans. If this offense under Kevin Stefanski is heading back to the version we saw a couple years ago, when it was clicking, when it was all about under-center play action, tight formations, methodical drives, controlling the line of scrimmage, making smart reads from 1 to 3, then let me tell you something. Shedeur Sanders might just be tailor-made for it. He doesn't get rattled. He sees the whole field. He's poised, and when you ask him to drop back, skin the defense, and work through progressions, that's where he looks comfortable. Not flashy, not wild, just comfortable. And that's the part nobody's talking about enough. Everyone wants to see the 70-yard bomb, but in this system, the 8-yard out on 3rd and 6 matters way more. And Shedeur's delivering those with confidence right now. So please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now, I've been watching closely, and from what I've seen and what I've heard from folks around the team, Shedeur's done more than just hold his own. He's throwing into tight windows. He's taking smart risks. He's showing that he's got the nerve to let it rip when he needs to. That's not something you expect from a rookie walking into a room with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. But here's the thing, they like where he is right now. The staff, the veterans, everyone. But this next part is key. Stefanski's got to come into training camp with a clear plan, a real structure, not just vibes and open competition talk. I'm talking depth charts, defined roles, time management between reps, because if this quarterback room's going to stay healthy and productive, Stefanski's going to have to get surgical with how he handles these guys. But here's what I'm reading between the lines. They already know. I don't think this is a three-way race. I think the top 2 spots are already locked in. Even if they're not saying it yet, I think they've already decided that Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders are sitting at the top of the board. And let me tell you why I believe that. There was an entire mini camp day, an entire day where Joe Flacco didn't throw a single pass, didn't take a single rep. You think that was random? Nah, that was by design. That tells me they're saving his arm. They're pacing him. And that also tells me something else. They're giving Shedeur room to breathe. They're letting him show what he's got. And from what I've heard, he's showing plenty. ESPN insiders just dropped a report saying Shedeur isn't being pushed aside at all. In fact, he's still being evaluated right alongside the vets Flacco and Pickett, even though people have been harping on his lack of first-team reps. The truth is the final decision hasn't been made, so if you're one of those people who already wrote him off, you might want to hit the brakes and reevaluate. Because here's the real shocker. According to multiple reports, Shedeur was the best player on the field at the most recent Browns mini camp. That's not me being dramatic, that's what the insiders are saying. That he didn't just belong, he stood out. He made plays, he looked sharp. And now there's this growing feeling that he's no longer just some developmental piece in the background. He's a legitimate contender for QB1, and the veterans, they're not pulling away. They're leaving the door wide open. Let's be honest here, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett haven't exactly separated themselves. You know what Flacco gives you: safe, steady, serviceable. And with Pickett, you hope he takes a step forward. But so far, that hasn't happened, which leaves the door cracked open just wide enough for someone like Shedeur to walk through. And here's what's different about him. What's catching everyone's attention is that he's already playing with the poise of a veteran. That's rare, especially for someone stepping into their first NFL offseason. His pocket presence, his mechanics, his command of the huddle, it's all way ahead of schedule. And as a rookie, that's exactly what you need to have a real shot in a Stefanski-led offense. Now I want to bring in something Dan Orlovsky said on ESPN, because it really puts this into perspective. Orlovsky watched the tape, heard the reports, and asked the question we've all been circling: if Shedeur keeps this up into preseason, why wouldn't the Browns seriously consider starting him? He said it would actually make more sense to roll the dice now, and if it doesn't work, you've still got the draft capital in 2026 to go get another guy. That's called weaponizing the draft, and he's absolutely right. You don't need to baby Shedeur Sanders. You let him prove it, and if he doesn't deliver, fine, you've got a backup plan, but if he does deliver, then you just found your future franchise QB without spending another first-round pick. Peter Schrager also chimed in on NFL Network and dropped some really interesting context. He said the buzz around Shedeur isn't just a media thing, it's happening inside the building. Whispers, teammates, coaches. They're saying he might already be the best positioned quarterback on this roster. And again, this isn't someone saying he has potential. This is people saying he looks ready right now. Schrager also made a great point. This competition isn't getting decided in June. It's not even getting locked in during early July. This thing is going to play out deep into August. And that's a huge opportunity for Shedeur to stack good practices, get more first-team reps, and keep winning over the room. Now let's talk about Damien Woody for a second. He went deep into the mental side of the game, something I think separates Shedeur even more. Woody called Shedeur's mental toughness his superpower, and man, that resonates. In the NFL, being physically talented gets you through the door. But staying there, becoming great, that takes a whole other level of psychological strength. And from everything I've seen, Shedeur's got it. He's not wide-eyed. He's not overwhelmed. He's processing the game like he's already been doing this for years. That calm under pressure, that awareness in the pocket. That's the stuff coaches love. That's what gives them confidence to hand you the keys earlier than expected. And Orlovsky doubled down on the technical fit too. Stefanski's system is all about timing, structure, and clean execution from under center. It's a thinking man's offense. And guess what? Shedeur excels in that environment. His footwork is clean. His timing is sharp. His play action fakes smooth. And his ability to make quick decisions, it's already ahead of where most rookies are. He's checking every box. So now, let's just lay it out. When you look at what's happening in this quarterback room, when you study the reps, the execution, the response from the coaching staff, it's not crazy to say that Shedeur Sanders might already be leading this competition. Even if the team won't come out and say it yet, even if they're still framing it as open. The truth is, the more he plays, the more obvious it becomes. The guy is not just in the mix, he's pushing the veterans. He's making it hard to justify sitting him. And now it's your turn, because I want to hear what you think about this. Is Shedeur Sanders really ready to be the Browns' starting quarterback as a rookie? Do you buy the reports, or do you think this is just off-season smoke and mirrors? Should the Browns take the chance and give the job to the kid, or would you rather see them start with a steady vet like Flacco or Pickett? And what do you think about how perfectly Shedeur fits Stefanski's offense? Is this a match made in football heaven, or are we still a year too early? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I'm reading every single one of them. And trust me, this quarterback race, it's only just beginning. Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching and see you next one.